Hi and welcome to another wonderful episode of Movie Dissect. Now, Movie Dissect is that show where we criticize movies. And when we say criticize, most people always feel like criticism has to do with the negative part of a movie. No. Um, we also do constructive criticism here. And what I mean by that is we really take the movie and break it down and see if it really deserves its accolades. Yes, in this episode, this wonderful episode that we have today, we're discussing Nneka, the British Serpent. Um, Nneka, the British Serpent is also one of those revamped stories. Uh, it's also one of those revamped stories from way back 1995 or 96. I think Nneka the British Serpent should be between 95 and 96, right? It was one of those movies that scared you, one of those movies that made you scared of young girls. And one other thing that movie also had was our veterans now, the likes of Ndidi who played Nneka the British Serpent back then, and I think she was also in this revamped movie as the godmother, the water godmother. Yeah. What's his name? Okeogejofor, who was a rich man she dealt with in the first installment of Nneka the British Serpent. Now, this storyline this time is wrapped around a girl who experienced the mysterious death of her parents and a traumatizing life, and she gained spiritual help or spiritual powers that now helped her to gain revenge on people. Now, this is like just a summary of what the story is. The cast of this movie, awesome. Like when I say awesome, I mean awesome. Ramsey also acted in this movie as Richard Williams. And in the last three play production movies, he has always played this particular role as Richard Williams, a mysterious guy who is like the devil's agent on Earth. He tries to lure you into something, and then you're now paying back in mysterious ways. So I'm still looking for. I still hope, and I'm saying this. I still hope Ramsey Noah is able to come up with a story about Richard Williams, like a Richard Williams story, right? Where everybody gets to really know who Richard Williams truly is, because in the last three movies that we've seen, Nneka the British Serpent, Rattlesnake, Living in Bondage, we have always seen this Richard Williams guy try to just influence people in one way or the other, but we've really not known his background, where he's from, why he's the way he is. And I think that character should really be exploited, right? I think they should exploit that character very well. So, Nneka is played by Idia Ashe. Beverly Mosu played Tessie Okechukwu. Kenneth Okolie Astoni Okechukwu. Bimbo Ademoye played Ada. Zach Oji was in the movie. Charles Enoge was in the movie. Femi Branch was in the movie. Kepi Ekpeyembasi was in the movie. But the one person that I really loved that was in this movie and had a very wonderful character in this movie was Inspector Daniel. Inspector Daniel was played by Bovi. And you see, there was this funny thing about Bovi when he was investigating. He had this very funny character of using his pen, no, always forgetting his pen. He always didn't know where he kept his pen. And that was, for me, that was a good, he did it the first scene, I was like, oh my goodness, I hope he doesn't forget his pen the second scene. His second scene, he forgot his pen again. I was like, can I get a pen? And that made that role stick in my head. And I just love whoever did that scripting and did that particular thing for him. I think we should do it more in movies. What I mean is, try to find something that a particular character, is remembered for. You see, I might not have remembered anybody's serious role in that movie, but I can't forget what Bovi kept doing. Like, every scene, he kept forgetting his biro, even to the point where he died. He kept forgetting his biro. And that made, like I said, that made that character stick in my head. When we come back, when we come back from the break, we will talk about other things in the movie and then rate the movie. See you soon. And we're back. And this is our last segment of this show today. And before the break, we were actually talking about Nneka the Pretty Serpent, the old version and the new version. We were putting them together to just analyze the movie. And although we had talked about the first installment, which was in the 90s, and then this installment that was done in 2020. The characters from this revamped version, we had named a couple of them. But this time is for me to give you a total or a fun breakdown of this movie. I had called the director, I had spoken about the director, I had spoken about the screenplay person, I had also talked about the producers. One thing I haven't mentioned is the budget. No, not the budget now. The box office money. Just made $50 million. Sorry, it just made 50 million naira. Nigerian money, 50 million naira. For me, that's small. And why I would say that's small compared to the things that I feel that was spent in the movie, the houses that were used, the cars that were used, the parties that were thrown, the lavish kind of lifestyle. But if there was one thing I would have, or if there's one thing I would have to say in this movie presently, is the fact that I didn't like the VFX of this movie. Especially every time Nneka had to come to the water side to talk to the water mermaid, it was annoying. The whole purple color correction thing, it was a no for me. So I'm not surprised that the movie is rated as a 4/10 in the world kind of rating of movies. It didn't hit. Okay, the story is nice, but that VFX thing spoiled it. The color correction at some point, it was like the editor or the color corrector was just learning how to color correct, because it wasn't like, I don't understand why maybe he has his best reasons why he was doing the whole purple color for the water, for the environment and all that, and not making it realistic. Even if he was trying to say, oh, she was dreaming, and when she dreams, she always sees herself in the water side and all that. It didn't make sense. But like I said, one of the characters I really love in that movie is Inspector Daniel. And like I mentioned during Brotherhood, where I said we should give the likes of Basket Mouth more movies to act because they killed their role. I think I still won't say the same thing for Bovi. Bovi actually killed that role. Even when he was killed with the biro he was looking for, like I said, he was always looking for a biro. I would like to score this movie 40/100. And I'm saying this because the color correction of that movie spoils the movie. But the storyline, the characterization, costume was good, but whoever edited that movie didn't do a good job. This is my judgment. You can also come up with your judgment. So I wouldn't say if you don't like my judgment, go to court. Don't go to court. Please just leave your comments on our comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow this channel. I remain your host, Vic Harry Ehikodi Godwins. See you next time.